I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater, and we have a treat for you today. We have, is this the very first?
The very first,
Very
yes.
first SSL Oracle. Our friend Phil's here with us.
Yeah. Hi, Mitch.
Great to have you back here at Sweetwater.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
You were here with the duality not long ago, and now, man, Oracle caught a lot of people by surprise.
It did, yeah. This has been a very closely guarded secret for us in terms of a console technology. It's something we've been working on for a very long time, and yeah, this is finally here.
Right, right. So tell us what we have here. Is this a control surface? Is it an analog console, a digital console? What are we looking at?
It's an all analog console, so very important to state that. Everything from start to finish is completely analog, but some of the features on here are very much like digital control. So you can actually control this from this control surface and change everything in the analog domain, but it's instantly resettable and instantly recallable.
You're calling that active analog.
Active analog, yes, patented technology, active
Right,
analog,
right.
yes.
The roots of this reach back 40 years or even further, right?
Yeah, the vision is 40 years in the making.
Wow.
But this console, this has been in development for about 5 years as a product that you see right now. But yeah, the vision has been around for about 40 years, yeah.
Man, that's amazing. And you really have brought together everything you've been doing through all those decades with analog, obviously, but the digital recall and some of the stuff even you've done with the control surfaces and things has all kind of come together into this one piece of gear. It really is, well, it's gorgeous, first of all. It really looks great. In front of us is the control surface, right?
That's right, yeah.
And the actual analog electronics are in racks.
That's right, yeah. There's 2 racks underneath the console, which can actually live here or live in a machine room if you need them to. But yeah, all of the audio is in there, and then this changes the controls in the audio.
Now, part of what that allows for, as you were mentioning, with the combination of the digital control over the analog, is there's a lot of configurability, whether you're tracking, whether you're mixing, for production.
Yeah.
This can serve a lot of purposes.
Yeah, the idea is it's very much a fully featured analog console, but it has the benefits of instant reset. So anywhere you want a big analog console, but you don't necessarily want a big control surface, this fits really well. So this is what we call an Oracle 24. And an Oracle 24 has 24 mic pre's, 24 EQs, 24 small fader inputs, 24 large fader inputs, and actually a total of 64 mix inputs.
Okay.
So even though it's a 24, it has 64 mix inputs. And then there's a bigger version as well called Oracle 48, which is the exact same size control surface, but that has a total of 112 mix inputs. So a very big console in this same footprint.
Right. You mentioned the large faders and the small faders. Now, anybody who's worked on a large format console will know what that means, but tell us what that means.
Yeah, so that's an inline design. So this is, harks back to our heritage in the late 70s. So the small fader typically would be used for tracking, and then your large fader, your monitor path would be coming back from, in this case, the DAW. So it's dual paths. So each channel has a dual path, basically.
Right, so there's basically 2 signal paths. And one of the interesting things about this is how configurable those signal paths are, because we've got 4-band EQ, you've got auxes, you've got a ton of busing capability here, and you can shuffle some of those between the 2 signal paths.
Exactly, yeah, exactly that. So you have an EQ, which can either be mono or stereo. The channels can either be mono or stereo, and you can move the EQ from the small fader path into the large fader path. You have dedicated inserts on both paths, and then you also have a filter which you can move between both paths as well.
Right, so versatile. And then all the auxing and all of those kind of things as well. Now that EQ, of course, the E, the G, those are the ones that people look for. Which of those is in this?
Both,
Both,
yeah. E
right.
and G, yeah, both E and G. So
Right.
we're known for those 2 EQ curves. We put both of them in this console.
And you can actually, did I understand it correctly, that you can actually change the order of the bands of the EQ, so you can reposition those how you want the signal flow to be?
Well, so the EQ you can move around, just like every SSL. But the bands themselves, you've got a 4-band EQ, and then there's 2 really nice features about that. One is you can actually solo an individual EQ band. So let's say you're doing some precise work on one band. You can solo that band and see what you're doing just with that band. So these are kinds of things you can do with plugins, but nobody has done that before with an analog circuit. So that's one. And the other one is a cut. You can individually cut an EQ band as well. So
That's
again, it's stuff which is like, this is really cool, even in a plugin, but to do this on an analog console is, really remarkable.
Right, and we just have to be totally clear that it's 100% analog signal path.
Yeah,
through
absolutely.
this console. There's no
Yeah.
digital conversions at all in the
No.
in the path or anything.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other things that is so important in a console, of course, is the busing structure and all of the routing that you can do. Talk a little bit about that with the Oracle.
Yeah, so it's a big busing structure as well. So we have 4 main buses. So if we look at the bus information, this is all here. So the orange buses, they're our main buses. And then with these purple buses here, these are our AUX buses. We actually have 10 AUXes. So again, a really big number, bigger than Duality, bigger than 9000, bigger than Origin. So bigger than a lot of consoles that we've made previously. The AUXes can be either stereo or mono. So if you wanted to, on this particular session, we've got 4 stereos plus 2 monos here. But if I wanted to, I could have 2 stereos and 6 monos, or 3 stereos and 4 monos to make that number of 10.
Right.
The other stuff that we've got multi-track buses. We've got 16 of those, and we have stereo group inputs. We have 8 of those, 8 stereos for a total of 16. So it's very big in terms of busing.
And in addition to those multi-track buses, of course, there are direct outs on the channels as well.
Yeah.
So getting signals in and out is no problem at all. You can cover a lot of ground here.
Yeah, I mean, we build fully featured consoles. So everything in here is as a result of people saying to us, okay, we need this. We need dual outputs on every channel. We need this amount of buses because we make mixing consoles. It's not just about a tracking, it's about a mixing console as well as a tracking console.
Some of those other nice features that are only possible with a console like this, things like being able to change the view. We were looking at how you can go from the view to the plasma view and so on. Now in the center section, there's a lot going on over here, both with the view and with the capability you have there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So one of the nice things about it, there's these little TV buttons, I call it, but it's actually the detail view all over here. So if I press the little TV button here, it brings up an exploded view of this section here. So really nice display. This is showing my bus compressor, which is a Bus Plus, actually. So
complete Bus Plus?
Complete Bus Plus, except the only difference is this is instantly recallable and instantly resettable. So with the rack mount version, which is also digitally controlled analog, by the way, but that's not recallable. This one is completely recallable. But yeah, all of the features you'll see on Bus Plus, you'll see here. So dynamic EQ, all of the various different ratios that we have, and then we also have a transient expander here as well. So it's got everything, this console. It really is.
Right. So what else do we have happening here in the center section? There's monitoring as well as all the bus control and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So a lot, what we try and do is build familiar controls. So the stuff that you expect to see in the place you expect to see it. So we have dedicated monitor controls here. We actually have 5 monitor outputs. We have main and then alt 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have base management with a switchable sub output, and things like cut left, cut right. So stuff that you expect from our monitor section in here. And then we also have transport control as well. So this is directly controlling, in this case, Pro Tools, but any DAW basically. And then we've got a main fader over here, and then this will be our plug-in section at the top. So it's stuff that we've really done on other consoles, but we've enhanced the workflow and kind of perfected it here. So you'll see some elements of this on some of our controllers. You'll see some elements of it on Duality. But here, it's really, in terms of the control, it's really, really powerful.
Right. You mentioned base management. You can switch that 4th alt out to a sub out with the base management. And in fact, this console can also be configured for immersive work as well.
That's right, yeah. So before the end of the year, we're going to be actually, these controllers are going to be able to control the Dolby Atmos renderer system. So for the monitor controls on there, we'll be able to push to that renderer. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. And everything else that you'd expect from an SSL is here. We've got gain, we've got our auxes, of course you have the faders, all this is recallable. This is the bus section.
That's right, yeah. So these are your main bus faders, VCA groups, stereo group inputs, but you can also do things like aux sends. So here I have aux sends on here. Here's my stereo groups, and then there's my VCAs. You can switch on those, basically. And you'll note the color coding changes as well. So again, one of the things we do is we like to have visual cues so you've got confidence on where you are. So these are all, multicolor LEDs, so these change to the function that you're at.
Right. So one of the great things about Oracle is the workflow that it provides in conjunction with the computer. Show us how quickly it can change among sessions, because that's a big deal in a studio. When you're getting work done, you have to get work done.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is a session we've got on here now. This is, we have an Oracle session here, which is matched to our Pro Tools session. So if I just change my Pro Tools session now, we'll go up here and I will just open a new, open a different track. So this track's called Into the Future. I'm not going to save this. So there it takes 3 seconds. So that's pretty quick to load a Pro Tools session. If I just go on the console now, I do exactly the same thing. So if I click Open Project, my project is called Into the Future, and you'll see when I do this, everything on the console changes. So I've not done it yet, but you'll see the faders change, you'll see the meters change, all of the bussing, all of the EQs, everything. So it's as quick as going open like that,
Wow.
and it's
right
just
there.
loaded. That's it.
Wow.
That's loaded everything
Wow.
on this session. So it's incredibly quick.
Yeah, so you can easily move among different sessions and different projects, or
Yeah.
different versions of a project
Absolutely.
very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You were doing that using the associated app
Yeah, that's right.
for this
Yeah.
as well, right? And this is also compatible with 360. as
That's
well.
right, yeah. So this is really similar. If anybody's used 360, this is kind of a similar idea. This is session management. We call this O-Control. And this piece of software can live on, here it's on a Mac, but it can live on a Windows computer. It can also work on an iPad as well. So we have an area of the console here which fits an iPad, so you can actually use this on there. So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so the nice thing about that is not only does it give you the ability to rename tracks and load things, but also it means that you can prep. On your way to the studio, you can prep on your laptop if you want to. So again, saving that valuable time when you need to save it.
Right, super efficient. And of course, sound quality is true SSL
Yeah,
through and through.
It absolutely, and it sounds amazing. It sounds like any modern SSL analog console, because that's what it is. The circuits we use are the same circuits we use on everything. I think it's worth noting as well that we have the Pure Drive mic pre on here.
Right.
That's become extremely popular. We use that in the Origin and our rack mount mic pre's, and it's got that, it's nice and clean when you need it to be, but if you want that extra kind of drive, it has that as well. So it's a great tracking pre.
So you've got that versatility even on the preamp section.
Exactly,
And then
yeah.
the two different flavors of EQ and on and on and on. There really is so much inside this console. I wish we had time to do a complete training session deep dive on it, but man, this is so exciting. Congratulations on this. 5 years of work, you said?
5 years of work, yeah. 5
wow.
years. 40 years of vision and 5 years of hard work. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So who do you see this as being a console for?
So I think we really looked at the AWS in terms of people that would go for this. That's the reason that it's this size now. It's actually a very similar size to an AWS. But we've actually sold some in the US already, even though we just launched it last week. Commercial studios, individual home users, people who are in a position to have a really high-end analog console but want instant reset ability. And that's the main thing about this console is you can work on multiple sessions every day.
Right.
So it's just like you would do inside the box. However, benefits of a tactile work surface, instant reset, and of course the ability to actually work on this as well as with your DAW. So we call it a hybrid workflow. So yeah, anybody that's really ever used an AWS, this is like the next generation.
Right, right. Yeah. Next step up. It's the hub.
Yes.
For everything, for whatever you may be doing, whatever type of music or audio production. I mean, any type of audio production, not just necessarily music production as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for bringing this in and letting us take a look at it, and also to listen to it. It sounds fantastic. We were listening to the session you were playing there.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Thanks.
Such a pleasure to see you.
All right.
Come back soon with the next big thing.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mitch.
Look forward to it. Yes. And thank you for joining us here. We have been checking out the Oracle console from Solid State Logic. If you have questions about this console or just to check it out because it is so cool, head over to sweetwater.com or contact your Sweetwater sales engineer because they've got all the info for you. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.